Okay, good morning, class. Good day. So, we'll discuss the applications of first order ODE. We'll have growth and decomposition, Newton's law of cooling, mixing, and falling object. And napo tayo add ng RLC circuit. So, mangita ko example na. But this lecture, I'll discuss first the growth and decomposition and the Newton's law of cooling. So, ako siyang ibulag with mixing, falling object, and RLC. No, hopefully makita ko into the example for RLC circuit. Kaya pwede mo po rin siya i-Laplace good. But anyways, let's talk about growth and decomposition and Newton's law of cooling and how we're going to solve these kind of problems using the techniques that we have discussed now in solving the first order ordinary differential equation. Okay, so we'll start with exponential growth and decay. Okay, so magkuyog rin sila class kay ang difference lang nila mainly is ang isa, siyempre ga-grow man siya, so over time it will increase. Ang isa ga-decompose or ga-decay, so over time it will decrease. But the idea is the same and they will have the same kumbaga formula, no? So isa sa application sa atong first order ODE, specifically variable separable no, is growth and decay. So, ang main concept ani is for growth, the rate at which a population grows varies directly as its number at any time. And for decay is the rate at which substances decompose is directly proportional to its amount at any instant. So basically, they will have kung sa growth pa ta class, kung ato ning i-translate into mathematical notation, the rate of population daw, at which population grow, the rate, no? The rate. When you say rate, we are talking about derivative na dayon because we're talking about the change, no? The rate at which it changes. So, the rate of change daw, meaning the change of population over the change of time, no? That's the rate of change of the population varies directly daw, 'di ba that's our notation when we say it's proportional to something, okay? Varies directly as its number at any time. So it varies directly as its number. So mo ni siya ang mathematical notation ani kini nga statement. Kani pud nga statement is butang natog ang A nato is a substance. So the rate of change daw po at which a substance decompose is also the rate of change, sorry, the change of the substance, amount of substance over the change of time mo na tong rate of change, no? Directly proportional ra gyapon daw siya to its amount. Okay? Unsa gali kung indirect inversely proportional dapat 1 over a na to, no? Yan naman na. Pero in this case, it's directly proportional. So basically, they have the same concept. Lahi lang ang atong mga notation. So when we want to make this an equation, okay, this is not an equation. Diba? This is just a mathematical representation of this um, statement. If you want to make this an equation, dapat natin introduce nga constant dira. Okay, I hope you remember that in your high school. If that is the case, so that would be dp over dt, the rate of change of the population. And if you want to make it as an equation, not a equal sign, and then we introduce a constant. Okay? Because this constant, mo ni siya ang constant at which, the amount or the value at which your population increases over time. Okay? Kaya directly proportional naman siya. Same is true here sa atong decay. So if you introduce a constant dA over dt, pwede ra gyapon nato i-k. Pero nganong makaingon man ta nga the same ra siya kung ang isa ga-grow ang isa ga-decay. Why is it that they have the same formula or equation? Ang mag-differ sila class is the value sa imong k. For growth, you will have a positive k, okay, positive. And then for decay, you will have a negative value. Okay? That's the implication kung ang imuhang amount ga-decrease or ga-increase over time. Okay? Ang imuha lang value or sign sa K mag-usab. Dili siya ma-divide. Okay, let's have an example para makita na to. How are we going to solve? Di ba kini siya, by the way, kini siya is variable separable. We have a P here. Okay, this is a constant man, so we don't have a problem in that. Okay, so ang ato lang problema is actually finding a general solution to this. Okay, so if we go to this problem, sige, this is exponential growth. I think I have two examples for this. Okay, first example, the population of a country doubles in 50 years. So, kani palandaan class, it already states nga it is growing exponentially and it is directly proportional. Okay, so its present population is 20 million. First question is, when will its population reach 30 million? B, what will its population be in 10 years? Okay, so we have to first understand lang sa the problem. Since this is exponential growth, we know that the population, okay, the rate of change of the population class is equal to some constant times P because it is directly proportional. Okay, so when P increases, the rate of change also increases. Okay, so over time, your your population will increase its number. Okay, so kabalo na taan eh. So let's first find our general solution based lang sa aning um equation. Okay, so we have to separate the variable. Dali naman kay ni that is dp over p is equal to k dt. Okay, so we integrate or anti-differentiate. We can get ln p is equal to, in this case, you have t man ano, so dapat naka kt plus c. Okay, so if you want to get rid of ln, so ato na erase to e ang kining right side. So that is p is equal to e to the power of kt plus c. Okay, so we'll have p is equal to, ato nang bulagon ang c di class. So we will have e to the kt multiplied by e to the c. Okay? And again, this e to the c, nagsabot naman taan ni sa mga previous na mga discussion, we will assume or assign this to another constant nga variable. Butang na natog C1. Okay? E to the kt. So this is our general solution. Okay? And as you can see, class, we have two unknowns there, C1 and the value of k. Okay? Kay ang t natog ang p mao na tong variable independent og dependent variables. So dapat natay value sa C1 ug k. Asa man ta makakuhaan na? Of course, makakuha ta na diri sa ato ang given nga present population. So when you say present population, unsa man atong value sa t ana? Our value sa t is, since that is our reference point, that is t is equal to 0. Meaning wala pa kagasudog count sa time. Okay, this is your population when t is equal to 0, present population. So pwede natin iasan as p sub o or p naught, mao na ang iyahang notation, no, when that's the value when time is equal to t. Okay? So at t is equal to 0, ang atong population daw class or p sub o na to is, p sub o is p ra gyapon ha, sige para di mo malibog, p lang gyapon na. 20 times 10 to the 6 na para di ta mag balik-balik anong 0. Okay, from this class, we can get the value of our C1. So how do we get that? Okay, so from here, ato nang substitute, you will have P, which is 20 times 10 to the 6, 20 million equals C1 e to the K na to is unknown, ya T na to is 0. Okay, and this is just equal to 1. Okay, so meaning natay C1 nga 20 times 10 to the 6. Okay? So, kung ato na substitute dira, you will have P is equal to, dili pa gihapon ni particular because we have one unknown. That is 20 times 10 to the 6 e to the kt. Okay. So, I think by now, you will realize, class, nga for exponential growth and decay, kani imong C1, this is actually the value of your, this is actually your initial value. Okay? Meaning, this is the value when t is equal to 0. Okay, balik-balik kami ng solution class and you will realize, hala no, ang C1 nimo kay always today siya at t is equal to 0. Oh. So, okay. So, nanatay value sa ato ang um, C1, yes, C1. Okay, so karon class, unsa pa man ang ato ang isa ka pangitaon? The value of K. Okay, asa man ta makakuha ana? Makakuha ta ana diri class sa iyang statement nga the population doubles in 50 years. Okay? So, ang ako lang advice is, kung kani man gud imong unahon ng substitute to get the K, imong K is an expression gihapon of something else. Dili gyapon nimo makuha kay unknown pa man imong C1. So, ang advice is, if you have two unknowns which is C1 ug K, ang imo dyong una kuha na ang C1. Kay your T will be 0. Okay? So, makancel out ning E to the K, T nimo, which contains another unknown variable na K. Right? So, atong second step is katong at T is equal to 50 years. Okay, ang T na to is in years. So, at T is equal to 50 years, atong population daw doubles. So, asa man na atong reference point? Of course, atong present population. So, if mo double siya, mahimo siyang 40 million. Alright? So, we already have the value of T, the value of P, the value of C1. Nya, isa na itong unknown, which is K. Okay? So, meaning, makuha na to ang value sa itong K dire. Alright, so atong substitute class from our equation here. So we'll have 40 times 10 to the 6 equals 20 times 10 to the 6. E raised to k, which is unknown. Unya, ang t na to is 50 years. Okay? So we'll have, ma-divide 2 raman, ma-divide naman ng 20 ang left side, no? So we will have 2. Nya, e to the 50k. K to 50 na lang. Wala na ako nakuha. Alright. And then, para manaog ning imuhang E dire, ato ng ln both sides, no? So we'll have ln2 is equal to 50k. Therefore, imong k is just ln2 divided by 50. So that is, pwede na to decimal lang, 0.0139. Okay? Pwede ra 4 until 4 decimal places class para dili ra pud kayo over ang imong pag-round off. Kay kung 0.01 layo ra pud na siya. No, so call na to ang 4 decimal places. Okay, so we already have the value of k. Therefore, ato yung particular solution class is p equals 20 times 10 to the 6 e raised to 0.0139 mo na yung value sa k niya times t. So this is your particular solution. So masolve na din nato ang a ug b class. Sorry sa kuha na. Okay na to ko ang annotation sa final PDF na kong ihatag sa inyo class. Okay, so again, we already have the particular solution. So let's solve for A. Ang pangutan, isulat na ako dali class. We have P is equal to, itong na-solve ganina, 20 times 10 to the 6 e raised to 0.01390. Okay, so A will be, pangutana is, when will its population reach 30 million? When daw? So of course, ang unknown ana is ang time. Okay? Unknown ang time, niya given ang population, which is 30 million. Okay, so kani pa lang daan, dali na kayo ma-solve class. Isa naman yung unknown, yan na naman tayo particular solution. So, diretso na nato i-substitute ang value. Okay, we have 30 times 10 to the 6 nga P equals 20 times 10 to the 6 e raised to 0.0139 times t. Okay, amo man na yung unknown. So we'll have 1.5 here. Okay, divide 20 million ang left side. Equals, mawala ng 20 million, we have e raised to 0.0139 t. Okay, again, para mahuhulog na yung t dira, ln both sides. ln of 1.5 is equal to 0.0139 t. Okay, t nato class is ln 1.5 divided by 0.0139. And that is, if I'm not mistaken, is 29.17 years. Okay. So, after solving class, ako yun ang gina-emphasize sa inyo, ano? You will ask yourself, does this answer make sense? Okay, tanaw na to class. At time 0, 20 million. Of course, pila to itong na-solve? Pila to? Okay. Ingon siya dire, para ma-check ni mo ba? Pwede tayong mag-timeline dire class. At time 0, nya atong ang kini siya country doubles in 50 years man. So at 50 years, ang iyahang 20 million iyahang population nya kini kay 40 day 40 million. Okay? So ningon siya kano sa daw mo reach og 30 million? Of course, dili ka mag-expect og answer greater than 50. Right? Because 30 million is somewhere here. So na dire sa 30 million. So unsa ka na nga time? Of course, your answer must be between 0 and 50 years. Okay, so somehow this answer makes sense. Nya later, ato din ang i-graph para ma-check yun na to. Okay, so manang gi-emphasize, what if makakuha ka drag 60 years nya, imo na lang ng dawaton tungod kay mo na mo nakita sa imong calculator. Dili na mag-make sense nga answer. Okay, kaya di man na siya mo decrease over time, increase mo na siya. So again, 30 million is between 20 and 40, so it must be between 0 and 50 years. Okay, let's go to letter B, which is, what will its population be in 10 years? So, ganina po, kung create kag timeline, right, it's very helpful to visualize class. Ingon siya, what will its population be in 10 years? Before tayo mag-solve, ato sa tanawon, 10 years is somewhere here. Okay, itong na-solve diri kay 29 kapin man, di ba? So, it should be, ang atong makuha nga value must be between 20 and 30 million. So, na lang tayo expectation in mind ba? Okay, so let's have, at time is equal to 10 years. Okay, unsa dako no ang population? Unay pangutana. Okay, so atong particular solution is P is equal to 20 times 10 to the 6. E raised to 0.0139. Nya ang T nimo is 10. Okay, if you calculate all of that, atong P will be 22,982,482 nya. Wala na to gi short term class kay aga matter man ginatanaw. Wala man siya nag 0 0. Okay? So this is now our population. And kung sa totong expect ganina, it must be between 20 and 30 million. And indeed, between siya na nga numbers, 22 million kapin. Okay? So karon ato i-graph class sa Desmos. Gigraph na ako diretso no para makasave tag time. So what I did is, if you're familiar with Desmos, input na nimo yung mga equation nito niya. Dili na to maglabot og mga million kasi layo na kayo na sa kuan. So ato na lang i-eliminate ang 10 to the 6 niya no. Ato butang og 20. Manang butang na lang ko diri og 20. Okay? So 20 e to the ato na lang i-assume nga times kuan ni siya times um 10 to the 6 ni siya nga mga values. Okay? So ang times 0, 20 siya, correct? And then at 10 years, mo ni siya nga value class, atong nakuha is 22.982. Okay, times 10 to the 6, so sakto niya atong answer, no? Nya at time is equal to 50, kana siya. Ni-double daw siya in population. Dili gina siya exactly 40 million. Tungod kay, ang answer ani class is tungod manggod sa atong K nga value. If we get the exact K, ma-exact po na atong graph. Pero tungod kay nag-round off mata dira, natin mga gagmay nga difference. But that's fine. Okay, as long as nakita nato nga, it is exponentially growing. Okay, so again, estimating at 50 years, x is equal to 50 or time is equal to 50, ang atong population is 40 million. So, ni-double gid siya, no? Pero kaning 29 dire, dili na ako makita. Musubra man gud siya gamay class. So, kanilang ato ang tan-aw, no? So, at time is equal to 29 or 30, katong kini, kini ba? Okay? 29.17 years, sobrang mo siya 29. So, dili gid siya exactly 30 dire. But it's almost 30. Okay? 29.929. Kani nga value ba? Totong nasolve nga 29.17 years, dapat yung population is 30 million. Okay? Kani siya. So again, dili gid na siya perfect nga 30 tungod sa atong value sa K. Pero mauna na siya imuhang equation. So you can try that by yourself sa Desmos. Ay. Okay, that's for the first example. Let's go to the second example nga. Growth gyapon. Later natin decay na class. Okay, so the number of bacteria in a yeast culture grows at a rate which is proportional to the number present. So kani siya nga sentence diri, yan lang nag-emphasize. Para makabaluta nga pwede ta mo gamit sa tuang equation, which is kung atong i-assume nga A na siya, that would be the rate of iyang change, no? dA over dt is just equal to some constant k niya times iyang amount. Okay? Pero kabalo naman ta ni class, this is the same story as before. And maskin pag bali-balihon, bahala lahi pa na nga variable, we will come up with the same general solution, which is that A is equal to some constant C1 e to the kt. Okay? So, mo na itong general solution niya. Kung gayon ka ganina, your C1 will always be the value sa imuhang bacteria or sa imuhang whatever imong gi-introduce diha nga kuan. at time is equal to 0. So, tanaw na to unsa yung given. No? If the population daw of a colony of yeast bacteria doubles every hour, find the number of bacteria which will be present at the end of 3.5 hours. So, kung tanaw na yung problem class, murag kulang siya, no? Wala siya mga value. Pero wala tayo problema na. Pwede man ta mag-assign of variable. Okay? So, ang imo pong answer is based on the variable pod. Okay? Wala joy problema if dili siya exact number gid imong makuha. So, let's say for example, para consistent at time is equal to 0, your A will be equal to the initial value. Correct? A sub 0 or A naught. Okay? So, meaning, ang atong C1 is A naught. So, no? Substituting this here, kuha tag C1 nga, A naught. So, ang atong din general solution, daghan kitag anon, pero wala na problema, class. We can express our answer in a variable. Okay, so A naught, e to the kt mo na ito ang solution. Okay? Now, unsa yang giingon? If the population of a colony of yeast bacteria doubles every hour. So, kanya itong first na clue. Doubles every hour. So, let's just say, naka-hour naman ni direct class, dili na ta mag-assume nga T will be minutes. No, dili na ta. Hour na ta diretso para mas dali. Nga naman, every hour man. So, at time is equal to 1 hour. Since atong T, assume na itong naka-hour siya. So, doubles every hour, meaning at T is equal to 1, unsa naman din ang ato ang A. Doubles every hour. Ni-double siya with respect sa imong initial nga value. Okay? So, 2A naught. Okay, so makita nato dire makuha ra gyapon nato ang K mas kinwala tay initial value gyud nga specific class. Okay? So from here, substitute na dira, A will be 2A naught is equal to A naught. Okay? E to the K, unya at T is equal to 1 hour. Okay? Again, ha, ni-double siya. Mo ng 2A naught na siya. So, cancel rin pa na itong A naught. So, wala tayong problema. Isa ra itong maanong diya class. So, 2 times E to the K. And then, para mahulog na or ma-down yung K, ln both sides. We have ln2 is equal to K. So, ln2 is equal to 0.6931. So, emphasis na gyapon ako, wala na ako na niingon before. The value of K na to class is positive for the first example. Okay? Narao, positive atong K, 0.0139. Ang atong second example, 0.6931, positive gyapon. And you will see later nga mao gini ang difference in growth and decay. For positive values of K, it means that the value is increasing over time. Okay? So, pwede natin ni ma-write class given atong value sa K. So, A is equal to A naught E raised to 0.6931T. Okay, so the problem now is find daw the number of bacteria which will be present at the end of 3.5 hours. So, meaning at T is equal to 3.5 hours, what is now the value of your bacteria? Pila na lang nabilin. Ay, dili nabilin. Pila na siya. Okay, so A is equal to A naught, okay, e to the 0.6931 times T nga 3.5. Okay, if you calculate that, you can get 11 something. So, pwede ito i-11. Pwede po ninyo i-round off. Pwede po 11 times something, okay? So, 11A naught. In terms of A naught gyapon, saan na ito na ipag-conclude dayon class? We can say that at the end of 3.5 hours, the number of bacteria is now 11 times the initial value. Okay, that's how you make a conclusion. Kung wala tay value ang gihatag diya sa imuhang initial, no? So, express na to siya in its variable. Okay, again, the number of bacteria is 11 times the initial value. Okay, so this is already accepted nga answer. Okay, let's go to, mag-graph sa ta. Okay, i-graph na to class, ang hanindot ani, wala man gitay value no. So, na to pag-graph ma, wala tay value. Let's just assume nga 1 siya. Butang na to, at ang A naught na to kay 1, pwede kita mag-ikuanan na. So, mao na tong i-input lang ang e to the 0.6931x. Okay, so meaning at, unsa to yung giingon, doubles every hour. So, unsay mahitabo? Doubles every hour. At T is equal to 1, ay, wala na ako na-appeal ang 1 class. Okay, dili lang ta sa 3.5 diretso. Okay, so sa 3.5 daw, what happens to our A? It becomes 11 times your initial value. So, nara kini siya nga value. Again, nagya po difference ha kay ato raman tong um gi-round up tong 11 pero actually 11 point something dito siya which is 11.3184 kani siya nga value. Okay? Kani man imuhang time. Time is 3.5, your A is 11.312 with respect to your initial value nga 1. Okay? Kung mag 100 ka dira, syempre, it will become i-times na mag 100. Okay? Pero mas dali tanawon kung naka 1 ang imong A not. Okay, so that's how you check graphically. Okay, and then makita man sina to sa atong graph nga, it's really exponentially increasing. Okay, let's go to decay class. Okay. Assume that the half-life of the radium in a piece of lead is 1,500 years. How much radium will remain in the lead after 2,500 years? So same like hapon, we can have dA over dt is equal to Ka. Same like hapon, we will have A is equal to A naught e to the kt. What do you mean by half-life? Okay, when you say half-life, that doesn't refer to the amount. That refers to time. Okay? Half-life refers to the time when your radium or your whatever element is already half its initial value. Okay, again ha, kay mora ba ni ang miss sa mga student, ang half-life is sometimes ma-mistaken nila as one half sa value. Correct? Pero specifically, we're talking about the time. Syempre, mamali man mo, ana. Mamali mo kung masayop mo og identify sa unsa na nga variable. Okay? So again, um, the half-life of radium in a piece of lead is 1,500 years. Meaning, pwede natin isulat, at time daw is equal to 1,500 years. In years atong time, ani, ang radium, pwede na to A or R, nara sa inyo ha, is one half na lang daw its original value. Mo na imuhang definition sa half-life. Alright, so, kung sa'yo makuha na to, ani, of course, we can get the value of K just like what we did sa itong previous example. So, gikan ani, let's substitute. We'll have 1 half A naught. Wala gyapon siya naghatag initial value class na naka A naught lang gyapon. Okay, 1 half A naught is equal to A naught e to the K, niya ang tini mo is 1,500 years. Okay, cancel A naught. We will have, diretso lang tag ln class. We'll have ln 1 half. Kunya na kay 1,500 K. Okay, K will be ln of 1 half all over 1,500. So K, kung nakita ninyo sa inyong value, we will have a negative value of 0.00046. So, kung asa ang mong significant number class, apila gid siya kay tanawa. Kung tama na kag 3 decimals, imong K logar kay 0. Hindi na pwede. So, tanawa nimo ang kung asa siya taman nga naa siya significant na number. Okay, so in this case, tama ta sa 5 decimal places kay naman siya 46 diya. Tumunong giingon, you will have a negative value. Okay? It means that over time, the value decreases. So it is indeed a decay. So karon, ang pangutana is how much radium will remain in the lead after 2,500 years. Unsa to? So, unsa daw? Okay, in 2,500 years, pila na lang daw ang imong radium. So, ang atong answer ani is expressing yapon in terms of A naught. Okay, so we'll have A is equal to A naught e to the negative mo atong K no 0.00046 times 2,500. And A nato will be around 0.3166 A naught. So unsa implication ani? Ang mabili na lang daw after 2,500 years, you can say that it will, only 31, pwede ka in percent, ba? Only 31.66 of radium will remain, okay, after 2,500 years. Okay, so that's how you make a conclusion. Okay, so saan po nato na ipag-graph? Tungod kay wala man tayo value sa itong A naught, Dili lang ta mag 1. Pwede man punta mag 1. Pero mas nindot nga value ani class is 100. Okay, so para makita na tawa, pila gid na lang siya. Pwede po siya in percent para naka-percent na diretso ang ato ang answer. Okay? So, unsa to tong mga value ganina, 1.5 ug 2.5. Tanaw na to, 1.5, okay? Nara atong 1.5 class, kini siya. So, after 1,500 years, ni half do siya. Okay? So, atong 100 will be 50.158. And again, dili gina siya exactly 50 tungod sa value sa mong k nga dili exact. Okay, after 2,500 years, what happens is, ang nabilin lang is 31.64664. Okay, with respect to your initial value. Okay, and then the graph class, tanawin yung graph. It is decreasing, exponentially decreasing. Ang growth, of course, increase over time. Ang decay, decrease over time. Okay, so I think isa lang ang example na emphasize naman siguro ako ang point sa decay or growth. So let's go to our next application, which is Newton's law of cooling. Okay, pare-pareho na siya sa mong decay og imong growth class. Pero nalang siya changes gamay. Okay? Pero how we solve the value or variable separable naman gyapon ni siya. Okay? So, what is Newton's law of cooling? It states here that the rate of change of the temperature of a body immersed in a medium with constant temperature is proportional daw to the difference in temperature between the body and the medium. Okay? So, if we have this, yung kag body, dili pasabot nga. Dili siya limited sa body lang sa tao. It can mean anything. Anything with a certain temperature. Okay? It could be a thing, it could be a body, literal body sa tao, or anything. Okay? So, the rate of change of the temperature of the body, pwede natin i-set class sa T. Okay? Immerse daw in a medium with constant temperature. So, may kang constant temperature, of course, we can denote this as T sub M. Mo ni siya ang temperature sa imong medium. Constant ni siya ha. So, wala tayo problema ani sa atong mga formula. Kay constant man ni siya. Is proportional daw to the difference in temperature between the body and the medium. So, if imo siyang mathematical expression, that will be the change of the rate of change of the temperature of the body. Okay? dt, big letter T over it. dt nga small, which is time. Directly proportional daw to the difference nilang duha. Okay? Dili lang kita mag-worry kung asang mas dako nga value. Nga naman class, pwede man siya medium minus the temperature of the body or the temperature of the body minus the constant temperature nga T sub M. Dili riya punta masayot nga naman when we make this as an equation, which is this, introduce K, dili riya punta nag-differ. Ang K nga value nimo. Same na siya sa growth and decay, that the positive value indicates that it is increasing over time, meaning ang temperature sa imong body over time it increases. So unsa pasabot na implication na when the temperature of the body increases, meaning nagka-init siya. Okay? Kung negative ang imong K, meaning nagka-decrease ang temperature sa imong body over time. So it means nagka-cool siya. Okay? Actually, ang general man gid is Newton's law of cooling and heating. Pero ang atong mga example is nag-cool down siya. Pero wala gyapon tay problema if I give you problems na nag-heat siya or nag-increase ang temperature over time, we can still use this formula. It's just that we will have a positive value of K here. Okay? So again, if we translate this into an equation, mauna ni siya ang atong equation. Okay? So, pwede nato siya i-derive. Ang atong derivation sa general solution class is this. Pero yun sama na siya. Same na gyapon sa atong growth of decay, no? So, pwede nato siya variable separable gyapon na siya. So, that is K. Diretso na ako i-separate class. Murag kulang ko og space. That is dt over dt nga small. Separate, lagi na ako diretso. That is dt over t minus tm, no? Kay mao man na siya ang naay t equals k dt. So, wala gyud na problema anak lang sa kay basta mingon mo, hala, so man pag differentiate ma'am, nga naman kay tm. Again, this is a constant value. Ang imong t sub m. Ato lang yung general nga t sub m para any value pwede na ito mabutang diya. Pero this is a constant. So, Sa'yo na kayo siya, that will be just ln of t over t minus m is equal to kt plus c. Okay? So, para mawala ng ln dira, we have t minus tm is equal to e k raised to kt plus c, which is equal to e to the kt times e to the c. Okay? And then, himuuna din na itong c1, that is c1 e to the kt. Okay? Para t na lang yun ang mabilin sa PCAS, mahimo na din siyang t is equal to, mapositive yung tm plus c1 e to the kt. So, that is, mo na siya nga to ang general nga solution. Okay? Pero nga nag-note siya, diri c1 is equal to t minus t sub m. Kung sa gani ang C1 class, we can get the value. By the way, nga nung negative. Siya. Later na lang ha, kay di ba naingon ko? Nga, wala tayong problema. Mas nindot kung na-positive ni mo siya class. Pwede ni mo siya ma-assume nga K lang siya, pwede sa negative. You will arrive with the same answer. Gi-specify lang niya diri nga negative imong case because nag-cool down ang imong temperature sa imong body. Okay? Pero wala gyud problema. You can use positive K here. Alright, so ang C1 is pareha gyapon sa decay o growth. We can solve that when t is equal to 0. Okay? So when t is equal to 0, um, imuhang p is equal to t sub m plus C1 e to the k nya 0 man ni. So mawa na siya. Okay, so C1 is just the difference between your temperature of the body and your temperature of the medium. Okay? Initial ni siya klase, initial. T is equal to T sub O ni siya. To be specific lang. Okay, let's have an example. Right, so a body's temperature is 180 degrees Celsius, is immersed in a liquid which is kept at a constant temperature at 60 degrees Celsius. So, imagine lang niyo class nga, mura na ba init kayo mo kay igang kayo sa gawas. Tapos nisulod mo room nga air condition at 18 degrees Celsius for example. So over time, what will happen to the temperature of your body? It will cool down, no? In proportion sa difference sa imong body o sa temperature sa room. Okay, nga na lagapon. A body, wala siya nag-specify unsa, basta kay a body whose temperature is around 180 degrees Celsius, init kayo. Gi-immerse daw siya in a liquid which is kept at a constant temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, dili man siya dapat Celsius. But anyways, kabalo na ta class that this is your T sub O. Okay? Kay mo ni siya ang imong initial nga temperature sa imong body man nga gi-immerse nimo sa liquid at a constant temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. This is your T sub M. Okay? In 1 minute, mo na itong clue, pwede na to i-assume nga T is in minutes. Is in minutes. Okay, para dali atong analysis. In 1 minute daw, after 1 minute, the temperature of the immersed body decreases to 120 degrees Celsius. Okay, nibugnaw siya class. Muna na to ang next nga condition para makuha na to ang another nga mga unknown. Okay? So the question now is how long will it take for the body's temperature to decrease to 90 degrees Celsius? Okay, so ato na lang isulat atong general solution class. Kabalo naman dato, no? T is equal to T sub M plus C1 e to the KT. Okay, dili na ta ma-prove karon ang value sa atong C1. Di ba ganina C1 is the difference between your temperature of the body and your constant temperature. Okay? So, isolve na nato siya ni diri. At T is equal to 0, pila man ang atong initial temperature. So, wala pa nagkuan. O pa nagdagan ng time. Gihatagan ta og 180 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, we'll have 180 is equal to your temperature of the medium is 60 plus C1 e to the k niya at time 0. So this will become 1. Okay? So C1 is just 180 minus 60. That will be 120. Okay. So natay T is equal to 60 plus 120 e to the kt. Isa na tong unknown diri class ang k na lang. So that will have a particular solution. And asa man na nato makuha diri sa atong second nga sentence. Ningon siya diri at T is equal to 1 minute, meaning after 1 minute, ang temperature daw sa atong body ni-decrease to 120 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, we'll have 120 is equal to 60 plus 120 e to the k niya atong t is 1. Okay? So, balhin ang 60 sa pikas, we'll have 60 is equal to 120 e to the k. Okay? So, we'll have 60 divided 120 nara kay um, 1 half. Okay, 1 half is equal to e to the k. So, ln both sides, ln of 1 half is equal to k. So, k na to class will be negative 0.6931. Okay, so wala gyud pa problema class nga naman. Katong gayon ganina, kung imo na siyang gi-assume nga negative, manegate man na siya dire, and you will have a positive k, you will still have a particular solution nga naka-negative ang imuhang value sa k. Alright? So karon ang atong particular solution di ay is 60 plus 120 e to the negative 0.6931. It just means, sa gili ang negative, it implies that the temperature is decreasing over time. Okay, ang pangutana karon, how long will it take for the body's temperature to decrease to 90 degrees Celsius? So pasabot ang anon is ang time. Unsa daw ang time? When the temperature of the body is 90 degrees Celsius. Mo-reach ang 90 degrees Celsius. Okay. Um, Substitute, you have 90 is equal to 60 plus, sorry, loading ko, plus 120 e to the negative 0.6931 times t unknown. Okay? So we have 90 minus 60 na, 13 lang diretso class equals 120 e to the negative 0.6931t. Okay. So we have 30 over 120 equals e to the negative 0.6931t. Alright, diretso na ako class ha. T is equal to, kung naka-ln na siya, ln of 30 over 120 divided by negative 0.6931. Okay? So, the answer should be a positive value, no? 2 minutes. Okay? Ato na lang i-approximate. So, the answer is 2 minutes. Meaning, um, for the body to reach or to decrease 90 degrees Celsius, it will take 2 minutes. Okay? Based aning condition. Of course, ang atong i-expect will be more than 1 minute. Good. Kay, magka-decrease mo siya over time niya. After 1 minute, 120 pagod siya. So we can expect a value. Kung nabong 90 degrees Celsius siya, dapat imong time is beyond 1 minute. Okay? So again, you always ask yourself if your answer makes sense. Okay, so let's graph this sa Desmos class. So nakita nato diri no, naka-decrease siya. Exponentially gyapon. Mura gyapon siya decay. So, muna ito ang equation. So, after 1 minute, ano siya? After 1 minute, 120. Kani. Okay, 120 degrees Celsius. And then after 2 minutes, 90 na lang degrees Celsius. So same or na-verify na to ato ang answer. Okay, let's have, I think I'll have another example, last example. Okay. Sige, let's have this example. In winter, the daytime temperature in a certain office building is maintained at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So the heating is shut off at 10 p.m. and turned on again at 6 a.m. Okay. On a certain day, the temperature down inside the building at 2 a.m. was found to be 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So the outside temperature was assumed to be 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So what was the temperature inside the building when the heat was turned on at 6 a.m.? So medyo tricky siya. The first thing that we have to identify, class, no? Okay, medyo tricky man ang problem is unsa ang body o unsa ang medium ana tong problem. So, you might be thinking no nga maybe kining office ang ato ang medium because na siya gibutang diri nga maintained at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So, basin makanon na mo ang building ang ato ang medium. Pero niingon man gud siya nga it is shut off at 10 p.m. Okay? And turned on again at 6 a.m. Meaning kung magsulat ta dira, magbutang ta dira og timeline, no? This is your 10 p.m. nya 6 a.m. The problem is more interested sa time frame within 10 and 6 a.m. Ganun man. This is the time frame kini di man yung Philippine setting of course kay winter god no. So dili aircon ila heater ilahang naa. Okay? So ang story or ang problem nato is from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shut off ang imong heating. Okay? So meaning gi-change imong temperature sa imong office. Okay? So dili siya ang medium class. Unsa man natong medium? The medium here is the outside temperature. Okay? Which is assumed to be 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Meaning, ang imong building, di ba, gihit nimo siya during office hours. Okay? Pero during 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., wala namang kaga-office dira. So, the idea is, gi-off nilang heating and the temperature changes sa office, no? Based sa imuhang, ah, it was changed tungod kay na-affect siya sa imuhang outside temperature ng 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So, karon from 10 p.m. daw, kay mo man imong last, di ba? Ningon siya, diri nga maintain at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It means that during office hours, which is from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., 70 degrees Fahrenheit ang imong temperature. Meaning, pag off sa heating uh, at 10 p.m., ang imuhang, butang na nato, ang imuhang temperature sa imong office is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually, this refers now to your initial na value. Okay? So, ingon din siya diri that on a certain day, okay, which is morning problem, the temperature inside the building at 2 a.m., okay, somewhere between 10 and 6 a.m., which is 2 a.m., it was found to be 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Ang pangutana is, what was the temperature inside the building when the heat was turned on at 6 a.m., meaning na nag-duty, gi-on na, unsa na dayon ang iyang temperature at that time? Okay, so tricky siya because you might think nga, unsa sense sa imong 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That is your initial value. And then during 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., ga-decrease ang imong temperature kaya wala naman ga-under imong heater sa office. So, ga-change siya, ga-decrease siya based sa imong medium nga constant temperature 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So, ato lang select diri 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So, if you analyze this in this way, you can solve for what is being asked in the problem. Okay? So, karon pwede na to i-reference ang 10 p.m. class which is your time is equal to 0. Okay? So, karon ang 65 degrees Fahrenheit will be your temperature when T is what? If you count in hours atong time, ana, this will be after 4 hours. Okay? Since 10 p.m. na to is mo na to ang T is equal to 0. Okay? So, ato sa i-solve class ang value sa C1. So, that is T is equal to T sub M plus C1 e to the KT niya. Kabalo naman tanga ang C1 will be the difference no sa imuhang um, initial and then your medium, temperature of the medium. That will just be at T is equal to, time is equal to 0. Ang ato temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so C1 will be 70 minus 45. Okay, C1 is 25. So T will be, ang TM na to will be 45 plus 25 e to the KT. Okay, we have an unknown here nga K, and we can solve that using our second nga condition, which is that at 2 a.m., which is 4 hours from 10 p.m., ang temperature na will be 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so that is 65 is equal to 45 plus 25 e to the k niya ang tini mo kay 4. Okay? So 65 minus 45 will have 20 is equal to 20 to 25 e to the 4k. So 20 over 25 equals e to the 4k. So ln of 20 over 25 is equal to 4k, no? And then k will be ln of 20 over 25 divided by 4. Okay, k must be a negative value. But pawakabalo sa iyang specific nga value class, imong expectation will be negative because the temperature decreases over time. So you have negative 0.0558. Okay, therefore, ang imuhang particular solution is 45 plus 25 e to the negative 0.0558 t. So the question now is, what was the temperature inside the building when the heat was turned on at 6 a.m.? So kabalo na kaan eh. Mura siya og 3K pagka-phrase, no? Pero, basically, yan ang pasabot is, unsay temperature niya at 6 a.m.? Okay, the temperature at 6 a.m. must be, before ka mag-solve, must be less than your 65 degrees Fahrenheit, no? That's your expectation. Ano yung value nga expected? Kaya at 2 a.m. good 65 na good siya. So after 4 hours, it must be way lesser than this value pag yun. Okay? So, this will be at time is equal to, unsa man ang 6 a.m. From your t is equal to 0. Your time is 8. Okay? 8 hours from your reference nga time nga 10 p.m. Okay, basin 4 inyo mabutang ba? Kay 2 a.m. mo nagkuhan. So, T is equal to 8 a.m. And the temperature is, mo na pangutana. So, T is equal to 45 plus 25 e to the negative 0.0558. Bati na kaya ang kong solution class. Times time nga i-hit. Butang na ako. Dali ha, kajut lang. Dali na lang class. T is equal to 45 plus 25 e to the negative 0.0558 times 8. Okay, so what is now the temperature? The answer is 60.998, or pwede po ninyo i-approximate into 61 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is lesser than your 65. So it must be correct. 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, let's try to graph our equation. Okay, so after 4 hours na siya class. 64.999 or 65. Okay, and then after 8 hours, na siya 60.998. Okay, so ga-decrease siya, so you can see sa iyahang graph. Okay, so, wala na day. That would be the last example. So, after the second half, aning lecture, which is the mixing and falling objects in RLC, I leave you with a take-home quiz, which is to be submitted next week sa tong face-to-face. And then, most likely, nasad ko mahatag na nga PIT sa inyo. Okay, so thank you for listening and see you sa next lecture.